All right, just so you know, I'm showing this on the screen right now. I sent this out to Evan this weekend, actually yesterday, and just says, hello again, Evan. John Stark and Clayton Mayfield continue having problems getting their ASP.NET programs to run since we began using the EF Core stuff. So I said, this is the scenario. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You guys send me your programs via a GitHub repo. I clone them on my machine. I debug them to the point where they work on my machine. I send your programs back to you using a private GitHub repo, and then you attempt to run your fixed versions, and you still get the same errors. So what I did was I took the last error message from each one of your emails, and I sent them out to Evan. All right. Well, he wrote back just a little bit ago, said, sorry, I haven't looked at this sooner. I hope to get to this afternoon. Well, the bottom line is this. It's very hard for you, Clayton, and you, John, to go on. All right. I know that I'm not saying you're the only ones having this problem, but Mason Schussler, and I don't know what he may have done that you haven't done or vice versa. But I haven't looked at his, but he sent me an email this morning saying that he has turned in all of the work for chapter 4 and for chapter 5. So I'm still trying to figure out what the problem could be with you guys. I know, Clayton, with you, the one thing I gave you, you tried doing that restart, and you shouldn't have to do any of that stuff. All right. All I can think of is there is some kind of there is some kind of setting that either is set incorrectly or not set on your machine and John's machine. Now, I think I'd asked you about this before, but I'm going to again anyway, just to be sure. I'm taking for granted that, because this is one of the things I sent you last week, that you went in here, you went in under, now I gotta find it. Let's let John in. Good afternoon, John. I was just telling Clayton here that I sent Evan an email saying about the problems that you two were having, and you can see them on your screen right now. He has not had a chance. I didn't send the email out to him till yesterday. All right, but he has not had a chance to look at it. He is going to attempt to get his class started today, and then take a look at see if he can. Because I asked him last week. I kind of read the errors to him. I said, have you ever had these? He said, I haven't, and neither have my students. That's why I said, I was just telling Clayton that I don't know if there's something that you have set that you shouldn't, that you haven't set that you should. I don't know. But I do know that one of the students in the class, Mason Schussler, emailed me this morning saying that he had all the chapter 4, and chapter 5 labs and case study done. So I don't know what he might be doing that you're not doing, or vice versa. All right. So we continue to look at this, and this is right when you came in. But one of the things that I'd mentioned to you the other day was going in, where is it now? Was to go in and under Microsoft SQL Server 2019, go to the configuration manager, which will bring this up, and make sure that indeed your SQL Express here is running. All right. And if it's not, you should be able to right mouse click on it and tell it to restart. All right. I'm looking here and I've got an agent for that says that it's stopped, and my browser says that it stopped, but mine appears to be running okay. Now, Clayton, am I right in assuming you told me at least that you tried this?
Yeah.
Okay, John, did you try this?
Yeah.
And it helped neither one of you. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Then that's, well, pretty obviously then that isn't the problem.
Well,
all right?
Mr. Scott,
go ahead.
if you don't mind when you open up the 4.1 and you go to your SQL Server Object Explorer in VS, like,
Okay.
does it just stay SportsPro database? Because in mine, I don't see it.
Yes. In fact, let me bring mine up.
And I've done a couple migrations, and it doesn't work.
When you do the migrations, you're getting an error?
No, the migration works. It goes through and it says successful. But when I open up my Object Explorer, I don't see a sports product or whatever, SportsPro, and then a products database at all. Anyway.
Okay. Then, I mean, again, I'm spitballing with you guys here. I'm thinking off the top of my head, but one thing that it's not impossible that it could be, let me see here. I think this is mine. 99% sure this is mine. I've got tons of copies of yours and of John's and of Clayton's. But yeah, let me look. So when I go in and I view my SQL Server Object Explorer and I go in under here and go in under databases, there's SportsPro, and under tables, right now I've got products in it, that's it, but yes. Now,
I don't have that.
Right, I understand. John, do you have that?
I don't know. The
Okay.
migration works, but I don't get a database showing up.
Okay. Then, and now I'm glad you both just told me that, because that'll give me something else to quick look at, because it almost appears as if your settings are wrong. And what I mean by your settings is, and I'll have to look because I don't remember even where you set this. In fact, let me look here. I'm going to try to right mouse click on the database and choose properties, and then look over here. All right. And I'm not sure if I'm in the right place or not. So, well, you can see my connection string. All right. And I don't know if there's anything that I put in there or that God put in there that I didn't put in there or not. You know what I'm saying? What I showed you in class is exactly what I put in there. That said, it's not impossible that the system itself put something in there. So I'm going to try to highlight all of that right now. I'm going to go into here. All right. So data source, initial catalog. This doesn't look like the one that you guys have. I understand. Integrated security, connect timeout. All right. Read write. See, this has got some stuff in it that the system put in once we did the migration. I don't think this will work for you guys, changing yours to this. But what we can do is I will send you this connection string in a minute or two, and you can try, for right now, comment out your current connection string and try putting in this one and see if it works. What I'm thinking, though, as I look through here, and I don't know if you guys remember this back from the days of the C# class, but when we connected to a database, one of the things that we looked at under your settings were we were using Windows authentication. All right. And if you don't use Windows authentication, you have to use SQL authentication. And I'm just wondering if somehow yours is stuck on SQL authentication, where it's looking for you to both put in a login and a username. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me. But the fact that your migrations are working, but you're not seeing anything in here, that would say it's either that or something like that. All right. So like I said, I'm taking a look in here.
Yeah, I just opened up my Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio.
Okay.
And when I connect to it, like, I can see the databases that I have in my Object Explorer on Visual Studio. And when I go to properties, it says Windows authentication.
It does. Okay,
yeah,
well then
I went through and set it up with one of the links you sent me from Stack Overflow.
Okay.
But
well,
I have
Go
like
ahead.
a Mirac books, a book database, like all the stuff we made in the past.
They've all worked.
Yeah, it's all in there, but that
Okay.
SportsPro.
Okay. Now, under your server here, can you guys do this? You just you should be able to grab any database that's in here. So in other words, if you've got your movies one, do you guys both have that one?
Yeah, I have it.
All right.
I actually don't have any databases in there.
All right. Well, let's at least look at it for you, Clayton, okay? And go in, right mouse click on it and choose properties and go down to server, which is down towards the bottom, and make sure that's set up correctly. It should look like this. Hopefully you can read that okay on mine. I can't make it any bigger, but it says local DB in parens / MSSQL local DB.
Yep, that is set. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm looking through these properties. I can't see anything else in here that should make any kind of difference. You know what I'm saying? That even if for some reason yours were set differently than mine, that would be any kind of problem. I mean, there's timeouts and things
Mr.
like
Scott,
that. Yes.
do you think I could take the connection string from one of my databases and then switch it out for the SportsPro one?
That's a great thing yeah, try that. And I will send you the connection string I have. Sure, try that. So, John, you have never been able to create a database, period?
I mean, since in this class, correct? Yeah, I've never
Okay.
had a
So,
database.
so even though you were doing the add migration and it's coming up that it succeeded, and you're doing the update database and it's coming up that it succeeded, and when you come over and you take a look, let me close this. And when you come in and you take a look over here, and you have a migrations folder, I take it also. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it's, whatever you just called it.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, oh boy. So you have never had in this class been able to create a database, period. And Clayton,
Yeah,
you
period.
could.
It's never been successful yet.
Okay,
So.
and Clayton, you could on your old one.
Yep.
But you couldn't on this one. Yeah, give that a try. And like I said, I will take this right here and I will send you that. I don't think that's going to work for a connection string, but if you want, feel free to try this one as well. And I'm glad you told me that, John. At least I've got a better idea now, and I know that my guess is it's not, since Clayton said with his that it's not a matter that he's logged in and it's using SQL authentication. It's probably not with yours either. All right. But I know, John, you had a different error than Clayton did. Yours was a login error. All right. When you look at it. Now, what I'd like you to do, both of you, is, yeah, Clayton, please go in and try that like you said, and let me know whether it works or not. But let's assume for a second it doesn't work. All right. And what you guys had sent me before, this is what I sent out to Evan. Give me just a second here. I think I got something in here called errors. There they are. All right. And now, Clayton, with yours,
Yeah, real quick. I put the new connection string in and I swapped it all around. So I just do another migration.
Yes, you'd have to do another migration and then another update database. Still building or what?
Yeah, I'm just making sure I have it all
Gotcha. Oh, that's good.
good to go.
And John, while he's doing that, this is what I had for your last error, and please correct me if it's something else since then, but I'm opening it with Paint here. And it said here, system invalid IO exception. Then it says cannot open database SportsPro requested by login. All right. And I think that's the one you still have.
Yeah, that's the same error I
Okay.
have.
What I'd like you to do, if you can, is run it again. When the error comes up, see if there's anything at all in here. Sometimes it'll have extra information that you can get. All right. But let's assume there isn't. Even though it's the same error, run it again, take a screenshot of the error and the code that was giving you the error too. I think it'll be the same thing in here. All right. But then what I'd like you to do, oh jeez, I'm just trying to
Mr.
figure
Scott,
out
real quick, I did the migration. It was successful. And then how do I update the database?
just with update hyphen database, what, like it's one word. Did the update work?
Yes, it says it was successful.
All right. Did you try to do another view and go into your SQL Server Object Explorer to see, look underneath there and see if the database is there?
That is what I am doing right at the moment.
Okay.
No, it's not there.
Still not there. Now, do you have on yours, let me just ask you this real quick. Let's see. I'm taking for granted that you have at least one thing in here. Do you have more than one in your under your servers? Do you have just one or do you have more than one?
I have 2.
All right. It shouldn't be, but try opening up the other one. Maybe you've even done that already. And
Yep.
looking in there under databases. It's not there either.
Nope.
All right. Because like I said, when I went back and Evan told me that today, I went back and I told him, I said, where is it? I said, hi, Evan, I appreciate you looking at it whenever you can. FYI, I cannot give students the chapter 4 to 5 test until I get this resolved. Thanks again for looking at it. And I will keep investigating it. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the heck could be going on. Because again, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And you guys are getting 2 different errors. All right. So you're able to do everything. You're just not getting a database. And John's not even able to get a database. All right. I will send you right now. Like I said, you can try this. You can go and change your connection string to what I'm about to give you right here. All right. And let's see. It's got SportsPro. So this should all be okay. All right. So you should be able to put all of it into your connection string. And you can try that. I don't think that will hurt anything, even if it's a bad connection string. All right, so I will send that to both of you right now, And let's do it right now, and I'll stay on here. I mean, it hasn't been from a lack of effort on your parts or my part to try to get this to work. I just don't know what the problem is. I'm going to call it new SQL connection string. In fact, I'll do it two ways. Let's see if do I have it in here? Yep. I've got it there and I put it in a file. So I'm going to send you both of them. So you can, if you want, just grab it off of here. Or if you have problems with it for some reason, I'm giving you the file. So that should be the same thing. Yeah. You've just got it two different ways there. Whoops. All right. So go ahead. I'm staying on right now. So I'm going to send this right now. Missing subject. Don't send. Just whatever. All right. So you should both have it now. Go ahead and give that a try. I don't know if it'll do anything. All right. Keep your old connection string. Just either copy it someplace else or comment it out or do something. Because I don't think this is what the problem is, but I'm just trying to narrow down what it could be. And when we get done today, now Mason Schussler, as I mentioned, has emailed me. I noticed when I looked at Michael McLean's repo, there was stuff in it. Michael, if you happen to watch this video, and I hope you have been watching them, all right, if for some reason yours did not work, all right, you're going to have to let me know so we can hopefully, when we figure out the problems for John and for Clayton, we can figure out any problems you might have. And if the migration fails with this, of course, don't even do an update.
Okay, so when I put yours in and I ran it, it did a successful migration and everything.
Yeah.
When I went to go update it, it just threw a bunch of errors out of the migration folder, the one I made for it.
Which could be for more than one reason. It could be. Now, did it make in the migration file? Did it make a new file in there with the update in it? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Kind of.
In your
Like-
migrations folder, if you open up your migrations folder, did it make a new migration file in there from the add migration that you just did, whatever name you gave it?
Yeah. Wait, is there a way I can share my screen to
Yeah.
you on here?
Yeah, you should be able to. You should be able to come in and let's see, where are we? You should be able to I'm going to say stop sharing, and up there, hopefully at the top of your screen someplace, you've got something that says share up there. If you click it, I should be able to see your screen. All right, because I'm looking in here. I see your screen now.
Okay.
But
so this is what I have going on.
Okay.
This is the one I just made.
All right.
And it just errored out.
Okay, can you double click on that file?
On this one?
Yes, the one that you just made. All right. And I just was wondering if there's anything in there that looked that came up with an error.
Nothing in this one. Just in
No.
like the original class.
Right, but I'll tell you, looking at it, I'll tell you why it's erroring out, and that's because there's no update and there's no up and down methods in there.
Right here, right?
Yeah, but there's nothing in them, right?
Yeah. Okay. So on this one, I just did not too long ago. It did this.
Well, and let me show you. All right, let me show you what mine look like. Okay, now it's going to look a little bit different, but let me just show you. So I'm going to go back and I'll grab control again in just a second.
Okay.
So on my migrations, let's see. I guess the up and down are
What
there
about
is
your
nothing.
initial setup one?
You're right. That's what I'm looking for. So
yeah,
my up has got everything in it.
That's exactly what I have.
Oh, you do have this.
I have that as my initial setup.
All right, and your down look like this.
Yep. Products, name products. Yep.
And John, you said, are you even getting anything in your migrate? Are you getting any migration?
Yeah, yeah. In my initial setup, that's exactly, I have the same thing that you have. But whenever I just made a new one, it's just empty. I don't get any errors, but it's just like the up and down is just empty.
Well, and my second one I made, the up and down were empty too. This is the second one that I made for SportsPro after initial setup.
What about your very last one, the SportsPro context?
This snapshot, I didn't
Yeah.
make that. That gets made by the
Okay.
system.
Okay, yeah, I had that too. So then why did I make, because this setup one I just made not too long ago was today, and it has a name of product name, a table of products, and a new name of name in the up and down. But
Right.
I have the initial setup just like you do.
Okay.
So why isn't that when it makes the database?
When you run the up command, this should all be running. And that's why if you've done it before with anything, I know, John, you haven't, but Clayton, like with the movies one, what you should have seen is basically a boatload of SQL statements that were running down here in your package manager. All right. And that's what should happen, because every time you run the up method, it should be running this one, to my knowledge. Now, I mean, I can go in and do another. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think again, shouldn't be the first time, but I'm going to come in here and do this. So I'm going to do a tools, NuGet package manager, and I'm going to go to my console. All right, there we are. And in here, I'm going to do an add migration. And I'm going to call this JPS. I'm going to give it today's date, 02-06-2023, like that. Now let's see what it put in here. All right, so there's the JP Scott right there. And when I look in here, no, it's rebuilding everything. See that? Because there's my.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have. I have
there's
one of
my
those
up.
too.
Okay, and there's my down. Okay, now it's got that stuff in here. All right, and I renamed my all it's in here is the change that I made. I named the product's name. There's nothing else that I've got in there in my up method that's new. You understand what I'm saying? So now when I go in here, if you guys would watch, and I come in and I do my update database, watch in the package manager here, watch what happens. Okay, it says there already is an object named product in the database, so it didn't like something. So it says failed executing that command, probably because I already did it. All right, but the point is, it was going through here and it was attempting to run everything that was in that original file. All right, and that's what should be happening when you do yours. And it sounds like with neither of you that that's happening. All right, I mean, John Clayton, you're getting further, but John, you're not even getting that far. And like I said, geez Louise, I've never heard of this before. But I mean, the more information you guys are giving me, then the better I am as far as being able to kind of tell what your problems are. All right. So Clayton, from what I saw when you had control, and feel free to take control again if you want to, but from what I saw, again, like you said,
Mr. Scott,
yes.
you won't believe it, but mine works.
What did you do?
I just did update database, and I got my database to work in there, and I have it all pulled up now. So.
And it works. Did you try bringing up the program?
Yeah, I'm looking at the product manager right now.
And you can go in there and you can make adds, deletes.
I can edit, delete that one. Gives you the confirmation.
Had you not previously done an update database?
No, I have not.
That would do it.
Do. So.
Okay, so you're set. Okay, one down, one to go. Is that correct?
Yeah, I still haven't got mine.
Yeah, no, and we're going to keep working on this. We're going to get it working.
I feel like it's all there. I just don't know what I'm missing. Like
I'm trying to figure it out as well. All right, but John's works. All right, what we're going to do tomorrow, and I'll keep you on, Clayton. We can stay on as long as you want. But John, you feel free to drop off if you want, or stay on. It's up to you. But what I'd like you to try to do for tomorrow then, John, and hopefully Clayton, you by the end of the day, is you should now at least be able to go in and do the technicians one. That's the second one. That's the second model that you'll have to create. You'll find out that your controller will almost be the same, other than the fact that you're working with different field names. All right. So what you're going to have to do is come in here and create a new model for technicians. If you get that done, then go in, do another add migration, do another update database, and make sure you can do the same kind of thing with your technicians. Then go in, create a new model. You're going to have to create two models next. All right. And one will be for customers and one will be for countries. Do the customer one first, get all of that stuff working. All right. And you've got your choice as far as how you do that. You can go through the whole process just with customers and not worry about adding the country. Get everything done. Again, do a migration, add migration, again, do an update database, make sure all that works. Then go back again and add the countries table. and then you'll have to go back to your original customers table and change that so that it's got a drop-down list, just like the drop-down list we have for categories right now in products. All right. And then finally, the last one, and that's the hardest one that I thought we'd probably end up doing as a class tomorrow, and that's the one with the incidents. All right. So John, why don't you see what you can get done with that? And like I said, I'm extending the date on this till next Sunday because it wasn't your guys' fault.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
I don't know what I just did,
but it
but I
works.
got it.
Fantastic.
I put your line in there, and I just took out a couple migrations and did another migration again, and it this time it decided to work. But I also, what I did do that may have helped it, which is not in there, is I added another SQL server to local. Like I went to local and I added one.
Okay.
Added my desktop, and now it's there.
Okay. Well, you heard what I just said, right?
Yeah.
Both of you, see if you can get, and I'm going to be on all afternoon. I'll drop off of this, but I'll be online all afternoon. See if you can get the technicians one to work. Go through and again do your add migration and then do your update database. Check and see if that works. Then go in and work with customers and countries. And then if you do get time, great. And if you don't, tomorrow, then we will do the last one on incidents together. I don't know what you did either. I'm glad they're both working. And whatever you did, for both, John, I guess with you, it's just running the update database. But Clayton, if you did do something, you might want to save, that connection string or whatever. And if you had anything extra you think you did, write it down just in case it doesn't work for the next one you try.
Yeah, I just kept doing an update database and adding migrations, and it just worked.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and hopefully by that time you'll have everything set up so we can just do the last one, the incidents together. Okay?
Good. Thank you very much.
All right, I'll see you. All right. Hey, you guys did it. So see you tomorrow.
All right, yeah, see ya.
Well, all's well that ends well, as they say, because now Mr. Stark's works, Mr. Mayfield's works. So, Michael, I will check on yours, but if for some reason yours doesn't work, you're going to have to do the same thing with me, and we're going to have to try to do this together. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See you then.